RNGaming is the name of a new series I plan on premiering with this channel, and as the name suggests, it is gaming using RNG. Which doesn't explain anything, so allow me to explain. RNG, or random number generation, is something that has been incorporated into video games since gaming's first inception. Every longtime gamer recognizes it, many of that group tends to hate it, or rather hate how it's implemented into games, especially from companies like Lacking Vision, and of course the infamous Efficient Assassinators. Pay your respects to the graveyard, ladies and gentlemen. My purpose for this series in each video is to randomly select 3 titles out of the thousands that have ever been released and play those 3 to completion, giving my thoughts and commentary throughout the experience. Through this, I will be able to experience and show games that we likely would have never seen otherwise, for better or for worse. This chart I created maps out most of the games that have been released using the results I found off of GameSpot.com in their ranking system. It really wasn't that complicated. I just got each console's total number of games and then used math to get these values as accurate as possible. Using these values with RNG allows me to be able to get almost any game at random. Whatever the numbers decide, I play. Also, for clarification, I included the 360 and PS3 in one category because they share so many games, but both also have worthwhile exclusives. So if I get one of those, I'll just flip a coin. Heads will be PS3, tails will be 360. So I'll give a potential example of something we could get using this system. So I have 1 through 400. I'll generate based on that. That gives us 357. That's a PC game. So we go here, go and select the PC. I set it to 50 plus minimum votes because that allows for a few more obscure games, but you can do whatever you want if you try this. There's a total of 2,478 games on the platform. We go back to our RNG and put the max to 2,748. Then, once again, we generate. That gives us 1,326. So we're down to 1,326. The game we get is Call of Duty World at War. That's a cool pick. Now, most of the time you won't get a game that is this common, but nonetheless, it's kind of cool that we got this one. So if I was doing this as the real thing, I would play Call of Duty World at War's campaign in front of you guys and maybe delve into some of the multiplayer stuff like the zombies. It just depends on the game. I wanted to briefly say that World at War was a really lucky role for me to get for my first time, since I already owned the game on Steam. But admittedly, I had only ever delved into the zombies mode with some friends back in the day, never touching the main campaign. I went to get some footage for this video from the campaign's first few levels, but in the course of 2 days beat the entire thing and absolutely loved it. It was so different from what I expected a Call of Duty campaign to be like, and it was all the better for it with such a bleak and horrific depiction of war, where the other Call of Duty games just tended to glorify it, or at the very least downplay how truly awful it was. This is exactly what I'm trying to do with this series. Find unexpected games that genuinely surprise me. World at War is by no means an unknown game, but I always just assumed it was yet another generic Call of Duty title. I'll probably end up going into a more in-depth review later down the line, where I can dedicate an entire video to this game as it deserves, but this was the perfect example role I could have gotten, and I am incredibly excited to see what else may lie in store for me in this series. It also makes me really want to go try the original Black Ops out, which is one of those games I didn't really get a chance to play back in the day, but I've heard is really good as well. Assuming Activision will ever release it for a reasonable price point. Jeez, you expect people to pay $40 for this, Activision? There are admittedly a few obvious limitations with RNGaming, like a few systems that were too small to make the cut, but nonetheless have a great exclusive or two, such as Snatcher for the Sega CD, or of course the greatest game of all time, Jack Bros for the Virtual Boy. Most of the systems I chose not to incorporate are withheld primarily because they are too small to play a significant role in the role. Why include the Virtual Boy if it only has 9 games on it, even if the king is here? Also, navigating through GameFAQs menus with all the consoles included is a complete slog, since you can only jump through 2 pages at a time when it has in total 291 pages, taking on average about 2 months to figure out each role that you get. Yeah, breaking this up by console is so much better. There is also the issue that it is not completely random for all games, as some games will have a better chance as they crop up on multiple systems. For instance, Resident Evil 4 has been released on the GameCube, PlayStation 2, Wii, Xbox 360 and PS3, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC. You get the point, Resi 4 certainly has a better chance than most. Despite these few hiccups, I still feel like this system will work well, and I can't wait to show you all some games that otherwise you and I would have likely never heard of. Whether we are laughing at something that is absurdly awful, or perhaps finding a few hidden gems that we would have likely never touched. I'm excited to take this journey with you all. As any good gacha player says, let's put our trust in the RNG. Let's go, guys. Hey guys, I hope this little tutorial helped you understand the concept of RNGaming a little better. I had originally planned to incorporate this whole segment with my first installment of the series, but in the end decided against it. That would probably be a long enough video as is, and this is long enough to warrant its own video anyway. Plus, as more installments roll out, see what I did there, newcomers will be able to just watch this and then go to whatever installment is the newest, and that way it would make it a lot easier for them to understand rather than having to go to the very first video. If any of you have questions about the RNGaming or possibly suggestions on how I could improve this system, or just your thoughts on aspects of the video like my take on World at War and yours personally, I would love to hear all that in the comments section, and don't be afraid to post comments, guys. I'd love to reply and do all that stuff with you. Anyway, this has been the Uncultured Swine, and I hope you have a great day, night, or great whenever it is you're watching. Peace, guys.
You uncultured swine! What are you looking at, you hockey puck?